So when I split off from the family farm, I knew that one of my biggest logistical issues is going to be the hauling of the grain that I harvest. And while I do own a little bit of the semi-truck fleet with my dad and my brother, this fall it became pretty difficult because we both needed the trucks at the same time, who got the trucks and when, and it was just kind of, not the best system in the world. So I went out and I was looking for a semi, and I finally found one that I liked good enough to actually purchase, and here it is. This is a 2014 Peterbilt 579. Don't know much about trucks, to be honest. I know it has the pack car or packer engine, however you want to pronounce it. I think it has a 192 wheelbase. It's fairly clean. It's not the most perfect truck in the world. It has a little bit of rust. It's weird. It was registered in Indiana, but the company was based out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. But I just got done taking off a bunch of these Indiana registration stickers. So I don't quite know what the story is on it. I do know it hauled wood. In fact, I think that it didn't even have a fifth wheel plate on it. I think it had a flatbed on it and it hauled wood. But that kind of makes sense to why this fifth wheel plate is way rustier than the rest of the truck, because I'm guessing it was an add-on after the fact. But the cab itself is pretty clean. Like I said, a little bit of rust in the frame. That's very, very normal for any truck, basically. I've seen some 2018, 2019 trucks that have a lot more rust than this does. The cab's all really nice, except for on the roof you have your little bit of paint peeling, which it seems like every truck has that too. I know Max and Volvos have that pretty bad. Peterbilts obviously have that. I don't know why that's such a common thing, paint peeling on the roof of trucks. I don't know if it's just, maybe it's just a material. The paint maybe doesn't bond the best. I don't know. But pretty common. Now you may be thinking, Carson, you didn't get yourself a Mac? You guys have been all Macs forever. And yeah, I didn't get a Mac. I wanted a 1990s or very early 2000s Mac CH600, like my dad's 98 truck outside. But if you wanted something that was halfway decent, you were paying upwards of $20,000. And I just think that's insane for a 25 to 30-year-old truck. So I started looking at a little bit newer Macs. And Macs have one common issue. I mean, the MP8, MP7 are good motors. 10-speed, 13-speed, or even the autos are all really good transmissions. I actually wanted an auto. This is a 10-speed transmission manual. But one common issue that a lot of them have is the cabs are rusted. So these cab corners will start to rust out. And then around the rear window will start to rust out. I went and looked at a really nice 2013 Mac. The frame was really clean, but the cab was rusty, and it was getting to the point where it was getting thin enough where I could dang near stick my finger through it. And I don't like that. So I started looking at a lot of trucks. I mean, to be honest, I've actually been looking at trucks since middle of summer. I've just been kind of avoiding buying one because I really didn't want to deal with it. I thought I'd get by with my wagon, but my operation's just not set up for wagons. In fact, if you want to buy a really nice Brent 644, let me know, because it'll probably be for sale. There we go. So it has the pack car MX-13 engine, which some of you guys are probably already typing saying that this is a terrible engine. Here's the thing that I have found out about engines in the last 4 or 5 months I've been looking for trucks. If it's not a Detroit 60 series, or what cat engine is it that everyone loves? Like the 3206 or whatever, that 90s cat engine that was absolutely indestructible. They're all garbage. It's basically a coin flip. And when you get to these newer trucks and you start adding in emissions, which this one does have DEF fluid on it, Has not been deleted. It's completely stock. It's a complete luck of the draw. Some of these trucks will go to 1,000,000 miles. Some will blow up at 300,000. Some will have emissions issues up the wazoo. It's so impossible to tell. It doesn't matter what engine it is, what brand it is. You know, I've done a lot of research. I've called a lot of, you know, independent mechanics and dealers, and the basic consensus is that they all aren't that great anymore, that every truck's a money pit. So I'm rolling the dice here. We'll see how this treats me. I mean, so far it drove home really nice, and the guy I bought it from, he's an independent dealer. He drove it 600 miles to his place, and he said it drove really nice. So we'll see. A couple of small things need to do to it, like this little light on the side of the hood broke off. I've already ordered a new one to replace that. The coolant sensor goes off every once in a while, which is apparently pretty common in these trucks. There is a float in these reservoir bottles that tend to go bad. So I do have a new reservoir bottle as well. Should be fairly easy to replace. Looks like there's just a few bolts and remove a few hose clamps. Should be able to do that. There is a check engine light for the NOx sensor, NOx sensor, which I believe is down here somewhere. Yeah, I think I think it's maybe in this box, and then it's one of these that you got to remove. That's a few $100. I haven't bought that yet. I've already been removing some of the stickers and lettering and stuff. I still gotta maybe get some Goo Gone or something and get rid of some of this residue that's left over, and then hit it with buff it quick before I get my name put on the side of it. The interior on this thing is dang near spotless. Very nice truck. Super clean, smells good. Here's the 10-speed transmission, the Eaton 10-speed transmission, which I am fairly used to. Two of the trucks that my dad and brother have this transmission. It's got a tablet holder, which is actually kind of nice. I put my iPad there, and I use that for directions on the way home. Steering wheel controls, never had that before on a semi. And overall, the gauge cluster is just really nice. Ride smooths, drives nice. It's pretty quiet in the cab. A pretty nice driving truck. I do quite like the interior on this thing. So just to be transparent with you guys, I paid $21,500 for this truck, which I think is pretty good price for how nice this truck is. I mean, it's not perfect. If you want a perfect truck, you're paying closer to 30. But for a farm truck that I'm not gonna be putting that many miles on a year, you know, I gotta buy a grain trailer yet. That's still in the process of looking there, kind of trying to find something that's cheaper because I just don't have that many bushels that get hauled. And then it'll also be on my tender trailer come spring and summer. So, yeah, I don't know. If I get a few thousand miles on it a year, I'd be pretty impressed. It does appear to have all aluminum rims, which is pretty nice. Tires are all pretty decent. They're not all perfectly even. These ones are pretty good. This one's not great right here. This one's pretty decent. These two are decent. These two are brand new. It does have this nice toolbox on the side, which is kind of nice. Nice large toolbox. Those are the toe straps for the front in it right there. And then it also has this big ol' aluminum headache rack on the back. And I'm assuming that's because they had a flatbed and they hauled building supplies and wood. So if something were to come loose, it wouldn't shoot through the cab. But I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. It looks good. I mean, it really makes a truck look like a work truck, and I like that. However, what I don't like is there's windows. There's 3 windows in the back of this cab. There's one here in the middle and then one off to the side. And this headache rack obviously blocks half the windows, and it really reduces your visibility looking out the rear, which is the whole reason why you want a day cab. So I don't know. I might take off this headache rack and sell it. I'm assuming they're pretty universal. Just measure out the frame width from there to there, and I'm guessing you can stick it on about any truck. I mean, there's nothing fancy about it. I mean, it does have this little toolbox on it, which is kind of nice, but I don't see any reason that couldn't come off this and get stuck on any other truck. So, yeah, I don't know how excited I am about it. I mean, it's a nice truck. I'm not the biggest fan of truck ownership, but I also realize that if I don't own my own truck, I can't market my grain very well because I can't, haul it when I need to or when I want to. And it just, in order for modern farms to make logistical sense, you almost need to own a semi, because the elevators that I sell my corn and my beans to are a really long ways away, and I don't even know if the bean plant accepts wagons. I know the corn plant does. And my fields are 10 miles away from the elevator, from where I used to have my grain bins, and 18 miles per hour in a 4230, 600 bushels at a time. The harvest goes very slow, and it did cause some issues this year because it was a very dry and windy fall, and when I was spending half my day hauling soybeans in a wagon, it didn't make very good efficiency, and I definitely harvested quite a few beans drier than I should have. I mean, the combine issues didn't help with that either. But this will help me be way more efficient. I think these are just a good looking truck too. Like, that looks good. Maybe not as nice as oh boy, I don't know my Peterbilts that well. Like the 389 or whatever, the square hoods. I think those look really good. But for a farm truck, pretty nice looking truck. So enough of me talking about this thing. I actually got some work that needs to be done to it. Starting with removing some stickers. Remove all these stickers, that way I can get mine put on. And then probably replace a coolant bottle, and then probably do an oil change on it. I do have filters for it and stuff, so get the filters changed, or oil change the filters, just so I know where I am. I can start fresh on my maintenance records. So a couple days have gone by. We actually got a giant snowstorm, so I'm moving snow some of the day and did a couple other projects, but I'm now going to get on to my coolant tank. I had to get all the stickers off. I have been goo-gonning the crap out of this door, trying to get this residue off, and man, I am struggling. Goo-gon's not working like I thought it would, so I kind of put a light layer on these stickers up here. I'm just gonna let it sit for a while on there and see if I can't get those off. But in the meantime, here is the new coolant bottle. So this is not an OEM one, this is an aftermarket one that I did get from my local Peterbilt dealership because OEM ones are like $400 or $500. This was like $200. And the parts guys said they've had very good luck with these. So what happens is in these things there's a float. And the float tends to get stuck. So when you slow down and speed up and everything else, your coolant light might start flashing. And when your coolant light flashes, it buzzes at you and it's really annoying. And even though your coolant level is perfectly fine, it's a pretty common issue with these. So I'm just gonna replace this. Doesn't look too hard. Unplug the sensor, take off that zip tie, unhook that tube, unhook that tube, unhook this tube. So I'm gonna try to hook this one first, drain it into this nice clean 5-gallon bucket that I actually just got done using for antifreeze on my little Ford tractor, which I just installed a block heater in. And if I can get it to drain okay, then I can replace the bottle pretty easily because there's only 5 or 6 bolts holding it on. And then reuse the coolant. So I suppose I gotta loosen this hose clamp first. I don't think it's gonna start leaking. Nope. So now the goal is to not have this go all over the floor. Let's see if I can, oh, okay, that tube's actually coming off easier than I thought it was going to. Let's see if I can get this shoved underneath there. If this goes bad, I don't know what to do. Might as well put my sleeves up. I just broke that zip tie. I should maybe take, oh, I'll leave that on. Well, we're gonna have a problem here. I got it all drained out of the bottle, but it started coming out of the block, which is an issue. I need another 5-gallon pail. Honestly, I might be able to just unbolt everything now and then quickly swap this tube over from the old reservoir to the new one. I don't know, maybe not. So, using what I remember from my physics classes, all water in the same system wants to be at the same level. And when I put this back in, it only filled it up to here in the coolant reservoir. So, my 5-gallon pail is only a little over half full. So there's a chance I could get it to work. Oh wait, but it needs to go all the way down here. I might try and shove this bolt into it. And see if I can't get that plugged good enough that I can switch out the bottle. We'll see. It's not quite thick enough to plug it. Dang it. I thought I was smart. I need a little bit bigger bolt, if I can find one. I found an ever slightly so bigger bolt. We'll give it one more shot here, because I'm running out of room in this 5-gallon bucket. Aha! Haha, look at that. That'll work. Just let that finish dripping. A little bit spilt, not much. That'll be easy to clean up. Okay. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Wow. What's the torque level on these bad boys? That was insane. Apparently this needs to come out. There we go. If there's one thing I really hate doing, it's working with senses of urgency. Oh, that just filled my coolant bottle. Well, that's great. Just dandy. Oh, might as well get these ones started, I guess, while I'm up here. The dang dealership gave me the wrong one. This pipe fitting's way too big. Way bigger than the one that it came off of. Which would be that one right there. So I think I gotta quickly put that back in. So that way I can move this thing. So a couple days have gone by since you've seen the last clip. And I called the dealership that I bought the coolant reservoir from, and they said actually no, it is the correct reservoir, however you need the adapter to change it to the larger size. So they sent me this little thing. I noticed I didn't put a hose clamp on it, but I don't think it's under much pressure. It should be fine. Maybe I can add one later, but that should replace this hose right here. So I just got to figure out how to do this. Why does this not look right? Uh-oh. So I called them back. Apparently I was looking at it wrong. I was looking at replacing this hose. Turns out it just extends it. So what a beautiful solution by Peterbilt. But you know what? If it works, it works. I'm not going to complain. But I am going to shorten this hose a bunch because that is way too long to fit. Like, I don't need all that. So you guys have already seen me install a coolant bottle once, so got this back installed, got everything tightened up. Now I just need to cut this hose shorter and then install it on there. So I want to do this correctly, so I got myself a hose cutter, pipe cutter. I better leave a little bit in case I screw it up and I can cut it again. It actually didn't go all the way through. Granted, this is a Harbor Freight one, so it's not exactly the best of quality. I mean, I use a lot of Harbor Freight stuff. Not gonna knock them. Most of their stuff is just fine, but this pipe cutter's also seen better days as well. Okay. Now, they said they included hose clamps. They did not, but luckily we have plenty of hose clamps. Put those on there. That goes on there. Look at that. Just gotta tighten it up now. I don't even know if you can see it. that's the new solution. Now, my plan was to fill the radiator up first, but I don't know how I don't see a radiator cap like every other vehicle I've ever dealt with. So just dump it back in the reservoir and then run it for a little bit and see how it goes, I guess. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. 5-gallon bucket up here. I bought a funnel yesterday. Where did I put that? Ah! Oh boy, I don't know how this is going to go. How do I even get up? Oh boy. I know the camera's facing not me right now, but trying to get up on top of the truck without spilling my 5-gallon bucket of antifreeze, coolant, whatever you want to call it. Oh. Okay. I should have got a bigger funnel. Definitely spilling some. Fun, fun, fun. There we go. That's a more controlled flow. Have not quite reached the minimum line yet. There is a little bit of gunk in the very bottom of this, so I'm not going to dump it all in. And I am kind of surprised. It must be going back in the radiator because I filled it all the way up and then I had a phone call and it went down by the time I got back. So let's just dump this in and not get the gunk in. I'll just leave a little bit at the bottom. That's probably good. I'll have to get another bottle of coolant for topping it off, because I don't know, there's maybe this much left in the bottom here. I don't know, maybe can you see the fluid through this side? I don't know, it's about here. But that's plenty enough to start it, make sure everything's working good. Okay, might as well start her up. Make sure everything's good. Low voltage disconnect. Interesting. Okay. It's weird that the key, I've never had a key on the left-hand side of the dash before. I can see it recirculating in there. That's good. I'm below the minimum, but I'm not afraid of running it, but the alarm probably will go off. There's definitely coolant coming out this hose right here. I don't see any leaking there. Oh, I forgot to put this hose clamp on. Whoops. next on the agenda, while I have been waiting for other parts, my little side lamp came in that goes right here. So I believe that there's just 2 bolts I need to undo from the other side. Slap that on there, bolt it on. Should be good. Looks like, okay, how does this work? Push to open the door. Push then pull? How does this work? Oh. You probably have to undo this. Oh my gosh. I don't know what the torque spec is on the plastic knob, but they found it. When you can't figure out how to open the door, it gets kind of difficult. So you push that, you must slide up, but this has to do something. Pull out? What in the heck? How do I? I need to get to that nut right there. I can see it. I just need to. Okay, yeah. This is a screw. It doesn't work. In the YouTube video I watched, his didn't work either. He just popped it off like that. I guess that works. Now I can access those bolts. Okay. And of course, because there's no light to hold on to, the bolt is spinning on the nut. So this is my solution. I was able to get a vice grip on the outside of it, and it is holding it well enough to get it off, at least so far. We'll see if it stays. I should probably see if it works. I forgot to turn the lights on. Aha! We have light. And just gotta tighten the nut from the backside and call that a day. Look at that. So it's another day. This video is taking me like a week and a half to make, but I have got all the stickers off the doors. I tried to clean up as best I could. If you look in the right light, like really close, you can still kind of see some, like down here, you can see a little bit of an outline yet. I'm not gonna put any stickers down there though, but it's pretty dang good. And I just got the call today that my stickers are done, and I went and picked them up, and man, are they freaking awesome. Here we go, Carson Kaler Farms. I haven't decided if I want to do it all in one like that across the side of the truck. Sorry, there we go. So like that, or if I want to do Carson Kaler Farms underneath it. If I want to do it underneath, I can just cut that off with scissors right there. And then this is actually the new logo for the YouTube channel. I just haven't had the time to actually incorporate it yet. But this is going to go right there in between the green lines. Sweet looking 8820. And then Donnell, Minnesota will go underneath it like that. This is gonna be awesome. I'm so excited for this. I feel like this is, even though I have a year under my belt and like I'm established, I don't know, something about having your name on the side of something just really makes you feel like you've made it. I haven't made it, but feels like I have. It's a step. It's a good stepping stone. Okay, so I kind of got roughly taped up there. I don't know. I mean, that looks good. I still don't know if I should do put the farms underneath. I kind of want to cut it apart and see, but I also don't want to cut it apart because I want it to still match up. Gosh, maybe I should just cut one of them. I guess worst comes to worst, I just line it back up and tape it back up there. Wow, but that looks so good too. I don't know. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with that. My worst fear would be, let's go take a look at the Mac. Because if I ever buy a second one, obviously I want the trucks to match. And I think the Mac has a smaller door, because, no, I could definitely get it to fit on there too. Okay, well, maybe I'm just gonna leave it like that. That looks pretty good. Gosh, the 8820 looks awesome on there. Okay, got some soapy water. There we go. That's a good enough stand. Oh, come on. There we go. Wipe it down with some soapy water, and then I have another spray bottle that just has water in it to get the soap residue off. There we go. Wipe that off really good. And this one just has some water in it. This is actually what I use to fix my hair in the morning, FYI, fun fact. Okay, I got curious. And you know what? I think I like that better. Let me put the last sticker on there, then I'll see what I think. I'll go like roughly there. Roughly. Good enough. Oh, that's so hard to tell. I'm choosing to do it this way. I just taped it the other way on the other door, and I like this better. It's more even because my first and last name are the same amount of letters, but Farms is a different amount of letters. And either I have my last name centered in the middle, or I have the whole thing centered, and then my last name is not in the middle. So if I do it this way, everything can be centered. Oh, let's go this side. Ooh. Oh, that little part came up right there. I'll push it back down. Okay, just push that little corner back down. Look at that. Yeah, they didn't manage to get the other... It might have been from the photo I sent them. I don't remember if it was cut off right there or what, but... Yes, now it looks a little funny, but it looks fine. That looks good. That looks really good. I quite like that. Dang, son! Ho-ho-ho! That looks so good. That looks so good. Clean, yet good. The green that he printed doesn't quite perfectly match the green that they already had there. You see there's a little bit of a color difference, but like, it ain't bad. Once you get back here, I mean, you can still kind of tell, but it still looks really good. Oh. Well, here we go. What a nice looking rig we got going on here, guys. It's like 2 degrees, so I'm gonna make this short. I definitely did better on the passenger side. Everything's a little bit more even and level. The driver's side, I thought I had it perfect. And the top line is definitely uphill a little bit, and so is the bottom line, but you know, it still looks really good. Can't complain at all. I'm excited to get this thing on the road and actually start hauling some grain with it. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.